Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Movie Chats with Rye and Ant. And today we're going to talk about Megan 2.0, the 2025 movie directed by Gerard Johnstone and starring Alison Williams. Before we get into this one, what did you think of the prequel, Megan?
So we're talking about Megan 1 or Megan 2?
Yeah, let's just have a bit of talk about maybe the first one, share our thoughts on this
Okay.
one, and then we can dive a bit more into the Megan 2.0.
Yeah, I see. I hadn't actually watched either of them until yesterday. I decided I'll watch them both. Um,
Yeah,
I really quite liked the first one. I thought
it's good, right?
it just had just the right amount of sinister towards it where she was it was just something she was just creepy on all the right levels because
Yeah,
she was very protective of Katie, and then she's obviously does a few things to kind of protect her. It's the kid with the ear, the dog, and then she goes kind of psycho, and it's just it just had a good. It wasn't a horror, but had a good amount of thriller towards it. It was minor horror. It was PG-13 horror.
yeah, it was. I really liked it. I mean, I really liked Megan. That's why I
Yeah,
wanted to do this one. I wanted to watch the sequel.
yeah,
But yeah, I really like it because it's just the right amount of campy horror because it's also funny as hell. And there is also some very good commentary about technology and AI. Sorry,
yep,
not AI. That's the second one. We'll talk about that. But
yep,
technology and grief.
yeah,
I thought it was actually very well done for a like funny horror flick. The grieving part and how what's her name in the movie? Sorry, Gemma
yep,
is not really coping about how to take care of a niece and becoming the guardian, and how, because she's a computer genius, she of course will rely on technology to help her, not knowing what is coming. I thought that part was very clever. So no,
yeah.
I thought that was a very, very good movie. Um, but then
I
Megan
didn't find
2.0 rolled around. Oh, tell
I
me.
didn't
Yeah.
find I didn't find the first one too on the nose funny. Like the second one, we'll get into it in a second. There wasn't any kind of,
Yeah.
it was trying to be funny. The first one, it might have had some, I don't actually remember chuckling through it. I don't actually remember
Really? Even the silly dance and the
oh yeah.
the
And
CEO
David,
that gets scared and
and
it's-
Ronnie Chung's, David. Yeah. Look, it didn't try to be funny, if that makes
no,
sense.
it was almost accidentally or incidentally funny, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was because the horror and the way that she looks as well, and they make her look, it's a mix of animatronic and CGI that never appears to be very real, and the reaction of people to that, it's so silly. It made me chuckle. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm thinking back on it. It probably, I think it was maybe because number two was just the comedy was too forced
They
in
really
number two.
leaned on the yeah. It's like, yeah, we're making a joke and we make it very
Yeah,
obvious that this is a joke, and maybe
yeah,
let's say half the time the joke lands and half the time it's a bit cringeworthy.
yeah. Because especially, we'll get onto it in a second. But yeah, I think what worked in number one didn't work in number two.
Yeah, true.
I, I, I found it. We'll get into it in a second. But yeah, it was whatever. Yeah, because
Yeah,
there's what am I trying to think of? But yeah, there was uh it was more about parenting. Yeah, the first one was about her parenting. I felt the second one, the parenting situation was almost like, no, I'm not your parent, I'm your aunt, and you're my niece. It was no, and then all of a sudden, I'm your parent, you're my daughter. They tried to, I don't know
yeah.
what they were trying to do there.
I don't know. They flip flop a little bit. But yeah, I mean, there is a few things that I liked about the second one. It's just spoiler alert. It's not nearly as good as the first one,
No,
but
no.
there are a few things in there that I think are good. Um, the first one, I like how the character of Gemma has evolved in theory at the beginning because, yeah, she was this computer genius. She created all those toys. She's a very high achieving professional. When the thing with Megan happens, of course, she's gonna go the other way, but she will do it in her way as being a high achiever. So she's gonna become a public figure speaking about the danger of AI. I thought that felt natural. That's like, yeah, I can see her evolving this way. That is something that I liked. Um,
Yeah.
it's
Is it?
definitely, yeah,
She wasn't written as the most likable protagonist, especially in the first movie. I was sitting back
yeah,
going, I don't actually like this person, and I'm rooting for her. It wasn't really until that third act where she kind of and especially in the first movie, she kind of went
yeah,
against Megan. And in the second movie, I didn't really find too much character development at all.
yeah. It's interesting. Yeah, yeah, I think you're right. She's in some aspects she's not the most likable character, but I did have quite a bit of empathy for her in the first one, in the way that being a parent, and that was a choice that I made to become a parent. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's the
Oh,
hardest job. So when you are, it's not something that you chose, and inherit a child who you're a bit estranged to for her because she becomes the guardian of a niece that she's not even that close to. And she's still young. She's still at the peak of her career. She has other aspirations and she needs to take care of this grief stricken child. And she's trying in her own way. And it can't be easy. And it doesn't necessarily come naturally to her up until she realizes, oh, maybe I rely too much on technology and something is absolutely wrong. And for that, I do have some empathy, even though you would want her to be a better parent and connect a bit better with Katie.
yeah. Um, I found there's a bit of a connection between Terminator and Megan
Yeah,
or
true.
Megan, because in the first one she's the bad guy.
Yeah,
Well, she's,
yeah.
but although she wants to protect Katie rather than kill her, but in the second one she's become the good one. She's
She's
on
the
the side of the
protector.
humans.
Yeah,
She's the protector, and it's almost like she was the T-800 because obviously
yeah,
she's out to hurt the humans in the first one, but then in the second one, no, I'm pro-human. I'm anti-Amelia, and Amelia's the T-1000.
yeah.
She's the
True.
she's the
And
new model.
she actually looks like the female Terminator in Terminator 3, Amelia, now that I think about it.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, right. um, it was just it was just the side characters in the second one was just you've got the agent who when
mm,
you first meet him you think is he a goofball, but then he's hardcore, and they messed up that kind of character because when you
yeah,
first introduce him he's don't really think he's very good at his job because I think
yeah.
he's lost control over Amelia, but then he's too, I don't know. It wasn't well written. It was. I
The
thought it was
no,
a.
the FBI
Don't.
stuff is like doesn't
Yeah.
even make sense when they are breaking
Right.
into a home when they have a warrant to actually do that. It's like then just knock on the door and and get
Yeah.
what you need. Why are you breaking in? That didn't really make any sense. Yeah, and I think this comes to when sometimes the humor or the situations are a bit forced in the second one. Uh,
Yeah.
that really felt yeah, a bit contrived. It was a bit of a convoluted plot and backstory as well with this AI that might have become sentient in, before, like with the printer company. That was just like a bit of a weird backstory that doesn't necessarily serve much. Um, but
I
yeah,
I got lost. I got to admit,
yeah,
there were times I was like, wait, what am I? I couldn't actually follow it, and it
yeah.
was
It
just
was a bit. it was confusing. Um,
It, it was too long as well.
it was a
It was
bit
two
long.
hours. It was
Yeah, it
two
was 2 hours
hours.
long. Yeah, though I was not bored. I have to say, it's yeah, some moments were a bit cringeworthy because it was a bit forced, but I thought the action was actually pretty
Yeah, I
nice.
was
It
gonna.
was pretty,
Yeah, some good. There's some good
yeah,
cinema choreography, especially
yeah,
through some of the fights. Although a little too was it too heavy on CGI? I felt the first one was a bit more practical. I thought was
potentially.
was was Megan. I say Megan. I know it's Megan, but she was she CGI this time? I thought she there's a few parts where she it seemed like she was made CGI.
Yeah, in the first one as well, I think they did a mix of like real actress, but then they put some CGI. They wanted her to have a bit of an eerie and unnatural look, and they repeated that in here. But Amelia looks more like a real person.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah,
I
but I
thought
like
she
the
looked
action.
like
Yeah,
I thought she looked
like
like Elizabeth Olsen.
a little bit.
Obviously wasn't. Obviously it wasn't Elizabeth Olsen, but yeah, I thought she just looked a little bit like Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah,
Um, what else was I going to say? Look, it did what it was supposed to do. It obviously had the you could see the bad guy coming from a mile away.
yeah, and then he had to over-explain it, his entire plan and why, and it's just like
Yeah,
shut up, like get to the action or get to something else. It's just nobody cares about the story. But I do admire the sequel for definitely trying to be something different. So instead
yeah,
of reheating and rehashing the first story, it actually continued it with the same characters, but also tried to be something very different. And it was taking a risk, but and it didn't pay it off. It didn't pay off, but at least you tried. I
yeah.
have to say that's something in, in today's world in Hollywood.
That that's it. Um, is there anything else? Oh, I have to mention Alton. Jermaine, what's his last name?
Jermaine
Clement.
Clement, yeah,
His character. I just I like Jermaine Clement. He's hilarious,
yeah.
but it didn't work here.
No,
You just
it was that was part of the humor. That was this is not funny. It needs to
no.
stop. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's hard
And
to make a Jermaine Clement not funny.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, anyway,
Anyway,
there's just it was
conclusion.
okay.
It was okay.
Conclude. It was
Conclusion.
okay.
It was okay. And did you think it was a good commentary on AI?
Yeah, because there's things about that could work with AI, and
Mm,
this obviously, but then there's things that don't. That you see some of those, I see memes and it's that they've got the names wrong and stuff like that. It's like this is bad
yeah.
AI, but then I don't know. I think AI works for some stuff, but I'm very old school. I like
Mm,
things to be a vintage. I like the vintage look and feel of things. I like to work with my hands.
yeah.
That's just me. But I'm not an AI person. I'm very tech technologically illiterate at times, so that's I struggle to make things work at
Mm.
times. So
I like I
AI is
like AI. I like AI. I use it. I use it in my work. I use it to enhance my skills in different areas. I use it to cut down the time on repetitive tasks. And, I think there is a way of using AI. It's pretty much came into the workplace and into everyday life. And the movie had some good points in the way that AI needs to be regulated, especially now that AI is getting so good at creating videos and creating that looks so realistic that it can be a deep fake and it can be a theft of identity and ruin somebody's reputation because of something that is AI generated but looks so realistic that somebody gets into trouble because of that. So there is with the rise of AI, there is laws that needs to come into play to regulate it. Like everything, like the internet when it came a thing, you know. And the movie had some sparks of good ideas in the way that, okay, it feels that you are understanding your subject, but also some that were a bit, okay, that goes into the caricature and the bad humor as well. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I wanted to put out there.
Yeah. I found a bit of similarity to the way that Gemma spoke to what was her computer's name? Oh, it wasn't Alexa. It was, when
Oh
she's
yeah,
very,
the Elsie.
yeah, it could be, but yeah, because
Yeah.
there's a movie called Kimmy, which I didn't
Uh
quite like. I didn't like
really?
Kimmy, but yeah, but because Kimmy's obviously she's very cold and very distant, and the way she talks to her AI, and at the end of that movie, that she goes, "Put on the lights, please." That's just, but I thought that was going to be because Gemma was very cold to her AI. It's like turn on the hallway lights. It's like she's almost demanding it happen. Like her AI technology do it. It's like just use some warmth in your voice. Just be nice to your. This is why AI is going against us because we're too demanding of it. If you're nice to it,
Yeah,
maybe I don't know.
maybe. And
Maybe the
doesn't
computer. I'm sure the computers can tell our tone. So
of course they can. Cool.
and
Should we go into
phone. Oh, sure.
yeah,
And
go for
phones are
it.
listening. Phones are. Oh, can I tell you a fun story? I was talking to one of the ladies at work a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking. She's just bought her husband a outside sauna. I was like, "Oh, that sounds like a great idea."
Yeah.
I must have had my phone next to me because that night on my Facebook feed,
Yeah.
what was coming up? Adverts, outdoor saunas.
Personas.
It's like,
Yes.
what? What the fluff? Is my phone is listening to me?
Yeah, of course it is. It's a listening device. Yeah.
Creepy, man, creepy. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
that's just a fun. That's a fun fact. All right.
But did you buy
Score.
it or
No, no, I want one, but I'm way too broke for that.
All right. Let's go into scoring.
All right, let's do it. This was
Uh,
your movie, so let's you go first.
yeah. I give it a 3 out of 5. I enjoyed it. It doesn't hold a candle to the first movie that was very, very good, but I applaud it for trying to be something different as a sequel. A few things that it did well in the evolution of the characters and the way that it was talking about AI, and a few things it completely fell flat on its face. So it's just halfway there. So 3 out of 5. But it was entertaining.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3 as well. It was good for what it was trying to do. Again, nowhere near as good as the first one, but it was enjoyable if you don't think too hard about it. But when it's
Yeah.
trying to be when it's trying to be too smart, it's hard not to think too hard about it. It was just it tried
Yeah.
too hard to be smart. It tried too hard to be funny, and both didn't
It
land
was
for me.
not. Yeah. I agree. Alrighty. Well, that concludes this week's episode. Thank you for listening. Please leave us a comment, leave us a follow, and we'll talk to you next week.